Hello, everybody. My name is Spike, and this is my sister Rosie. We are very glad to meet you.
Our lives have been very unusual lately. Our school has been canceled, our trips have been canceled, our friends are very worried.
The truth is, I'm a little worried too. Not scared, of course. Just a little worried.
My hands are as clean as I can wash them, but now what should I do?
Well, that is a good question, Rosie. Now, it is time for us to tell the story of how God rescued his people from slavery and death long ago in the land of Egypt. This story happened long ago in the land of Egypt. Yes. Very good, Spike. Now, as I was saying, God's people were slaves, and God saw them and heard them and decided to help them.
Grandpa, I love God. He is always helping people.
He's even helping us. And so, God spoke to a man named Moses from the flames of a burning bush. And even though the bush was on fire, it did not burn up. So Moses went closer to look.
And God said, Moses, take off your sandals. You are standing on holy ground.
Grandpa, why was the ground holy? The ground was holy because God was there.
And when we go to church, God is there. That is why we act very respectfully at church.
And what did God say when Moses got closer to the burning bush? God said, "Go to Egypt. I have seen my people suffer. I have heard my people cry. I have come down to rescue them. Now, go say to the king of Egypt, 'Let my people go.'"
What happened next?
Moses went down to Egypt and he told Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, God says, "Let my people go." But Pharaoh said, "No."
You mean Pharaoh disobeyed God?
Yes, Pharaoh was greedy. He liked having lots of slaves. He did not want to let them go. But Grandpa, I remember seeing a picture of God's people walking through the Red Sea. There was a wall of water on their left and a wall of water on their right. Didn't Pharaoh let the people go? Oh, yes. But first, Pharaoh needed a little convincing. Okay, a lot of convincing.
Oh, I remember. This is the story of the 10 plagues. Didn't God send flies and gnats and grasshoppers over the whole land of Egypt?
Oh, yes, Rosie, very good. Grandpa, did God really send swarms of flies and gnats all over Egypt? Oh, yes, lots and lots of them. He said, "Let my people go, or I will cover your land with flies."
Yuck! I remember the swarms of gnats we had this summer. I don't like gnats at all.
Me either. Gnats are mean, itchy, scratchy little bugs, and they bite hard. And God made lots and lots of gnats and covered the whole land with them.
That must have canceled a lot of activities. Who wants to go play outside or go anywhere during a gnat infestation?
Grandpa, I bet the gnats made lots of people stay home. I bet no one wanted to go to the market, and no one wanted to stand outside and sell food and get bitten by gnats. Those gnats must have been a real disaster. Oh, they were a disaster. But, in a way, the gnats were good. Well, no, the gnats weren't good, but God used them for good.
What do you mean?
Well, remember how Pharaoh needed lots of convincing? God used the gnats and flies to convince Pharaoh to let God's people go.
That is right. Spike, reminds me of the Bible verse I learned at camp last summer. It goes like this. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him and who have been called according to his purpose. Romans 8:28.
That's right. God works for our good through all things. I even remember the song. It goes like this. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him and who have been called according to his purpose. And this means that you don't have to be afraid. In fact, God says, do not be afraid. God is still in control. The virus is bad, but God is still with us, and he will even use this bad virus to help us. And that reminds me, I need some serious help making a new batch of cookies. This storytelling is making me really hungry.
Cookies!
Chocolate chip!